Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I've got part 2 of my 10 cards 1 kit using the Spellbinders May 2019 card kit to share with you today. If you missed the first 5 cards, you can check those out on the video that I posted yesterday. So jumping here into card number 6, I started out by trimming down this wood pattern paper to 4x5 1/4, and I've used some of the double-sided tape to attach that on top of one of the white card bases. Here I've got a few pieces of ephemera, and I'm just going to lay this out on the top of my card. Some I'm going to glue directly down, and then others I'm going to pop up with some foam dots. So I'm just making some marks here so I know where I want to place this card down. I'm going to add some art glitter glue to the back. And then for the hexagons, I'm going to pop one up and have the other one down flat. So I'm just making sure I have everything lined up the way I want it here. Then I'm going to take the smaller one and glue that directly on the card base. And I'll take this larger green one and I'm going to add some pop dots behind that. I'll peel away the backing and then place that down on my card base, just making sure I have the corners of both of those lined up. And then I've grabbed this sentiment that reads wonderful. I'm going to trim off that edge at an angle just so I can slide that little piece of that underneath the popped up hexagon. I'll grab some of the pop dots, place that on the back. And then add that down as well. Here on the inside, I've grabbed another one of those sentiments. This one reads, "So lucky to love you." I've added some of that double-sided tape behind it. I'll go ahead and peel away that backing and then place that directly on the inside of the card base, just using my ruler there to make sure I've got that nice and centered. And that will complete card number 6. So here for card number 7, I'm working on a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out this bear again using my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And then I've got some MFT Persimmon cardstock, and I'm going to stamp out this Stay Wild banner. I've gone ahead and used the included die cut. This actually matches the stamp perfectly, so I went ahead and trimmed that out. And then I wanted to stamp some leaves that are going to be underneath that. I'm going to pop up that banner eventually. So I'm going to keep those in black. And then here I've grabbed some of the leaves that I had trimmed out. They go with the rose die cut. And I'm just using the tops of them, maybe about 3, it looks like 3 leaves on each side. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just making some little marks here. I want to make sure I get these down in the exact spot. So I'm just sort of outlining the leaves. And then I'll add some glue and place both of those down. Then I'll grab my banner and I'm gonna add some foam tape behind this. And I'll peel away the backing and place that down right on top. Oh, I did go ahead and erase my pencil marks there just in case. I don't think you would have been able to see them, but I just wanted to make sure since I wasn't going to be able to erase in there once I placed the banner down. I then added some of that double-sided tape to the back of my panel, and I've grabbed a persimmon card base from my stash, so I'm going to place that down right on top. For the inside, I've grabbed another one of those sentiments. This one reads, "Nothing beats this." I'm gonna add some tape behind that. And then I'll use my ruler to make sure that's nice and straight. And that will complete card number 7. For card number 8, I've trimmed out this polka dot pattern paper to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to use some of the double-sided tape to place that down on a panel I've trimmed from the cream cardstock, which measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to use some of these butterfly stickers. I really liked these. They had some really great dimension on them. They're actually 3 layers. There's the bottom layer and then another full layer, and then another top layer with just the top 2 leaves and the body of the butterfly. And they have some really, really pretty sparkle to them as well. So I'm just laying these out, deciding how I wanted them to be spaced. And then once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to go ahead and press those down. I've also grabbed this sentiment that reads, "Beauty surrounds us." I'm going to pop that up. And then here I trimmed off another piece to add to that, and you'll see that I add it and then I take it away because I ended up overlapping it over top of the butterfly, so I really didn't need that extra pop up there. Going to add a little bit of art glitter glue there, then I'll peel away the backing. And go ahead and place that down. I'm going to add some glue here to the top of my card base, and then I'll place down my panel. And then for the inside, I'm going to use another one of those sentiments. I've added some of that tape behind it, and I'll again use my ruler to make sure I get that nice and straight. And that will complete card number 8. So here for card number 9, I've got some ephemera and some die cut leaves laid out here. I'm going to add some art glitter glue behind the leaves. And then I'm also picking up the ticket that I have off to the side there and adding some under that as well. I'm gonna pop up both of these circles. So since they're overlapping a bit, I'm just double checking as I place the foam tape behind this smaller one to make sure I'm getting that in the right spot. I don't want to have anything that's sort of a double thickness. I'm gonna go ahead and place that down. And then I can go ahead and add some pop dots along the entire back of this circle. For my background panel, I chose this black and white cross pattern paper, trimmed that down to 4 by 5 1/4. Here I peeled away the backing and I'm going to place this circle down. And I'll add a little bit of glue where that overlaps. And then I felt like I needed still a little something more. So I grabbed this little tiny ticket. I'm going to trim a little bit off of the edge there. There we go. And then again, I will add some art glitter glue behind there and just tuck that underneath that circle. Curling those edges to give that a little bit more dimension. I've added some tape behind my panel here and I'm going to place that directly on top of a white card base. For the inside, I've grabbed this sentiment that reads "Keep Life Simple," added some of the tape behind there. And I'll go ahead and place that directly on the card base. And that will complete card number 9. So here for card number 10, I have trimmed out some of that copper mirror cardstock. This measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I have my green and cream pattern paper trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4. I've used some of that double-sided tape to go ahead and place that on top. I've also grabbed this ruler ephemera, added some tape behind that, and I'm going to place that towards the bottom of my panel, about a 1/2 inch up. And then I've got all my ephemera pieces. So I fussed around with these for a little bit until I got a design that I was happy with. And then once I had everything in place, I've added some art glitter glue behind there. Next, I'll go ahead and add down the radio. And then for this Family Man sentiment, I'm going to go ahead and pop that up with some foam dots. And I am out of the dots that came in the kit, so I'm going to use some of my sticky thumb dots. And I'll place that down on top. I'm going to add some glue to the top of my card base, and I'll go ahead and place down my panel. Here for the inside, I'm going to use some of these sentiment stickers. These are left over from a kit a couple months ago, and I'm going to write out, "You are beyond amazing." Again, using my ruler to line those up, and I'm going to place that directly on the inside of the card base. And that will complete card number 10. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.